Okay, for tonight's homework, I'm going to have you write down on a piece of paper the 5 words that indicate to me that you are listening, and then I'm going to have you make a change to one of the problems. Alright, good luck. So here we go. What we tried to learn today was translating in terms of giving directions first. So again, I want you to know that the x-axis is labeled 0 at the origin, and then 1 to 10. 0 at the origin for the y-axis, 1 through 10. Today we're looking at mainly doing the translations, not worrying so much about the coordinates, but I need you to know the coordinates for sure. So for this xy, I'm going to put the first dot for x right here, and the second one y right here. That's the point 1 for x and 7 for y. Know how to write coordinates. Remember, you start at the origin. That number to the right, that's your first number, that's your x number. The next number, when you go up to that point and look over, that's your y number. So this point is 1 for x, 7 for y. This point right here is 3 for x, 8 for y. Know how to graph coordinates. The x number first, over for the x. Let the y number tell you where to go from there. First number for x, 3. Let the y number 7 tell you where to go. 8, where to go from there. So that is 1, 7, 3, 8. Again, know your coordinates. But again, today, not so worried about the coordinates, just mainly about these translations. The first word is green. Green. So for this one, I want you to take the point x and y for this line segment and move it 4 boxes to the right, and then from there 3 units down. So I'm taking that y point, moving 4 to the right, and then 3 boxes down, and where I stop, that's going to be the new point for y, or y prime. And I could tell that's the new one because of that little mark right there. The next one for x, over 4 boxes, and then from there down 3 again, just like I did before. And right there is going to be my next point, which is x prime. And again, this one up here is the pre-image because there's nothing on these x and y's. This is the image because of that little prime number right there. Know that. So pre-image, image, moved 4, 3 down. And again, these line segments are parallel when you do a translation. The second word is blue. Blue. What you might want to do is, again, just write the 2 line segments and maybe erase the little marks that show which way you're going just to make it more clear, but you could leave those, of course. Alright, second problem. This one, instead of telling you the directions that they want you to go, they give the directions instead as a vector, what we call it, which is telling you the direction to go. So every vector has a x component and a y component, and you're going to apply that to the line segment we want you to move. So for this one, I'm having you, for today's homework, I'm having you put the point A, B, and again, not so worried about the x and y coordinate numbers at this point. So when I plot AB, I'm going to put AB at 1, 6, and the other one at 2, 4. So A is 1, 6, B is 2, 4. And again, I don't give you the directions, but the vector does. So looking at this vector, the way it's going, always do the x component first for these kind of problems and the y second. So looking at this vector, if I'm trying to connect the dots in this pattern, it looks like I'm going right 3 boxes. So that's going to be my horizontal component. And then from there, I go up 2. So that's the movement this vector is describing. Over 3, and then up to that tip, up 2. Again, the arrow tells you the direction you're going, over and up. If the arrow was down here, I would be going left and down, but I'm not. So again, that tells me the directions. So from each point, I'm going to do that same over 3, up 2, over 3, up 2. So right 3, up 2. That's going to be my next point for B, B prime. And then the same for A. Right 3, up 2, right 3, up 2. The same movement that this vector is describing. And then that's going to be my A prime. This is my pre-image because there's just A and B. And this is my image after the move because I could see these little prime marks. And what you might want to do is erase all these lines in here just so it's easier and clearer to see. So I'm going to erase all those, get rid of all those. And again, you can clearly see the pre-image AB moved in the pattern that this vector is describing, right 3 up 2, right 3 up 2. There's the new line segment. The third word is red, red. All right, next problem. This one. It gives you 2 line segments already drawn, and it wants you to describe the translation in words and the vector. So the first thing is know this one was the pre-image, the original, because there's nothing on these A and B's. That's a little mistake. And this is the one after the move because of those marks. So again, know which is the original, which is the new one, because that determines the pattern and the order you're going. So from this original A to this new A, I'm going to do always the X left or right component first and then the up or down second. So from this A to this A prime, I'm going right 3. But then from there, I'm going down 2. Right 3, down 2. So that is my translation. I'm taking every point A and B and moving right 3, down 2, right 3, down 2. That is my translation in words. And then the vector, all you need to do is draw a line that connects the A, first A, to the A prime. That is your vector. That describes the movement. So it went right 3, down 2. If you connect again the original to the new one, that will show you the vector, the way you move that point. That is the vector. So right 3, down 2. Right 3, down 2. Same vector from B to B prime. You could also write that vector right 3, down 2 in that arrow any place. But I at least need one of these vector arrows. Just one of them to show me that pattern that you moved right 3, down 2 with the arrow down here. You could write it right there, right here, but at least one of them. Here, I wrote all 3. I wrote 3 of them. You can do that too if you want. The fourth word is yellow, yellow. All right, the last problem I'm going to have you do is just one more along a vector, and that's this one right here. So I'm putting the point at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5. And this one right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 6. All right, I'm going to have you translate X, Y along the vector AB. So again, this vector will give me the directions that I need to move the points X and Y. And again, always start at the beginning of the vector and go to the arrow. Always do your left or right component. So from here I'm going right 2, and then to get to that arrow, down 1. That is the pattern I'm moving, describing from that vector. Right 2, down 1. Right 2, down 1. So I go from X and do that same pattern, right 2, down 1, and that gives me the new X. And then same with the Y one, right 2, down 1, and that gives me the new Y. So again, translated right 2 down 1. I'm going to erase these to show it a little bit better. Alright, the fifth word is black. And now for the one problem change, I would like you to do this same problem right here, the same line segment X and Y, where X is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the point 2, 5 for X, and Y is the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But instead of translating it along this vector AB right here, I want the translating vector to start here at A, but then go all the way down right to here. So my translating vector for your new problem is going to be the same line segment right here in the same spot, but instead of using this vector AB, I want the new vector to start here and go all the way down to here. So that means you're going right 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the vector I want you to follow. So right 2, down 5, right 2, down 5. Alright, good luck. Turn that in tomorrow.